if you are just coming on board, you're watching Morning at NTV, and we are coming to you live from the Kampala Serena Conference Center. I'm Chris Higenyi, and we are in the Take Note segment. We're going to be looking at Operation Fika Salaama Extra in effect, and the latest efforts by all stakeholders who are concerned about the growing carnage on Uganda's roads to be able to address the death of people. Just a preamble, in Uganda we lose about 12 people daily on average in traffic road crashes. It's against this background that the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety in the Uganda Police Force is partnering with other stakeholders, including the Uganda National Roads Authority, to be able to map a new effective way forward in addressing what is no doubt one of the greatest challenges of our time. I'm joined in the studio by the spokesperson for the Uganda National Roads Authority, Alan Sempeba, to throw more light on Fika Salaama Extra and how this time round results will be gotten. A very warm welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chris.
The word extra on Fika Salaama sounds more like when you're hearing some of these product launches and they are giving you something that they say is better, perhaps more smoother. Fika Salaama, when you hear extra, that means more trouble for the motorists, especially if they find themselves in the line of or rather out of line of law. Just give us a preamble in this latest operation, and then we shall go into the nitty-gritty of what really is happening on Uganda's roads.
Thank you very much, Chris. With Fika Salaama Extra, we are drawing a reminder to Ugandans that speed kills. Speed does not only kill, but also has an effect on the country's economy. That's right. Yeah, for example, there was a report that came out that indicated, a UN report, that Uganda loses about $1.2 annually out of road traffic crashes. So that is the much we lose in our economy. But also seeing this rampant death happening on our roads, because we build roads to move safely. In fact, we put safety features so that people can move safely on the road, but the reverse is happening. So we're saying no. We've done a couple of sensitizations, we've done a number of them, we've spoken to people, we've met them on the road, but the roads are also talking. They have signage. Yeah. So what is the missing link? So we're saying let's do a little enforcement, and maybe we'll be able to remind people to wake up. Yeah, so it comes with a, I want to call it a slight convenience. To many it's a big convenience, a major one, because you're stopped, given a ticket, express ticket, and you have to pay it. Okay. Yes. When
you, I'm sure some of these interventions have well-kept records. When you measure the attitude of motorists in Uganda, you can quickly figure out that there is a significant contribution. Sheer attitude on how you use the road contributes to some of this carnage. I want you to be honest with us, Ugandans, and how they regard themselves well on the road. When we were watching news the other day, there was a lady who was being told you hit the speed limit, and she couldn't agree to that, and she kept arguing the police officer. There must be a mechanism either being put in place by, is it behavior psychologists, to help us understand just how our own attitude is responsible for some of these road problems.
First of all, Chris, that's a very good observation, because we are highly entitled as Ugandans. It is not bad to enjoy all your freedoms.
That is right.
But like they say, your freedom shouldn't, again, affect other people's freedoms. But also, we don't want to lose you as a person, because the country needs you. The country needs you to participate in the different economic activities. So we don't want to lose people on our roads. So, but the degree of entitlement is high. We find a lot of road rage on our roads. People not being patient. You don't want to give way. I can give you an example. When we put the traffic lights at the Kampala Northern Bypass, several people resisted the idea. But I think now you can see the sanity. Because previously, everybody would want to rush and get into the roundabout.
Yeah, that's right.
Disregarding who has the right of way. But now, right now, there's sanity, that the lights stop you.
And some order.
And a bit of it, at least. At least we are seeing some improvement. We hope to see even better, because we still see the border borders still trying to cross through, and some other errant motorists. But at least we're seeing some order get back at the roundabouts or intersections with Northern Bypass.
Okay. Now, there are concerns, especially for those that watch the health aspects of some of these interventions by the police. The prospect of introducing breathalyzers again. Before the very initial start, there were concerns about health. And you know, public health is a major concern. And if everyone else is blowing on the breathalyzer, by the end of the day, you're going to be taking home infections. How has that been addressed this time around?
Thankfully, Fika Salaama X-ray is a brainchild of several agencies of government, and one of them, particularly, is the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
So it's on board. In fact, it has flagged us to proceed, telling us they're free, they're risk-free, they can be used, and they're not reusable. So I think the fears should be allayed. Therefore,
they are not, as in, if I blow into it,
you will get another.
Okay.
There's
the device is disposable.
Yes, yeah, they are disposable
for each user,
for each person.
That's a whole logistical nightmare. We are seeing.
They've put in place all these logistics in place. That if you're stopped, you get your own Doppler or whatever it is. Take in a breath, and the result is taken and it's discarded.
That one is discarded.
Yes, so it's not reusable. So the health fears should be not be there.
That is incredible. Okay. There is something that happened the other day on the not Northern Bypass, it should be on the expressway. There was a truck.
That's where we launched the operation.
You launched the operation right there. A truck went over one of the... It was commendable in one, the sheer... what they call that? Is it a ramp? The one on which the truck went over. It was really strong, and it showed that, well, if it hadn't been that strong, perhaps the accident could have been uglier. But at this stage in time, when you are watching some YouTube videos online, there are sections of roads where you see there is an off-road that has some specific material that cars can come and run into, and then they come to a halt. Shouldn't we be having those ones, so that if somebody realizes that they've lost control of the vehicle, they can just swerve and go into that section? I don't see it anywhere in Uganda.
Oh, we do have it.
Where?
on most of our roads, by the way, when we put islands along our roads, you know, those medians we put in the middle of the roads. It's one of its purposes is to do that. When we put guardrails along our highways, the guardrails are those side barriers that you see. Yeah, those are intended actually to hold you. Yeah, and our roads should be forgiving. We have that in mind. They should be forgiving. When you hit it, you're able to. We don't lose you, at least we have you back. So that's why we have those guardrails. And unfortunately, now people hit them, and some of them have been broken, but we try to restore. The other important aspect is now when you damage an asset on our road, on our roads, you actually pay for its repair.
That is treating a motorist who is involved in a road crash as a criminal. I mean, this is a road crash; it's an accident. The first thing should not be somebody thinking, "Oh, okay, the police is coming, let me run." You could have broken a leg, and if you're thinking of running away, because you're treated like a criminal, yet it's an accident. You should be able to understand, and the first thing should be to take care of the person's health.
Higenyi, by now I'm sure you know the speed limit on the Kampala NTV Expressway. That's 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And if you drove at 150, is that right?
It isn't right.
It isn't. Why do you do it? In other words, it's avoidable. So we start from there.
All right. Talking about the expressway.
Yes.
Is it illegal for a human being, a person, to be on the expressway?
Oh yes, oh yes. It's an expressway, like we call it. Therefore, it should have uninterrupted access. You see no bus stops, taxi stages, borders, those light motorcycles, and pedestrians are not actually permitted to move on the Kampala NTV Expressway. Why? Because it's a high-speed road. Yes. If one finds themselves in that position, what measures are taken? Well, you have passed, but also if you insist, especially we had incidents, and those usually were criminals who try to access others are trying to catch up on the others on the expressway. Say, when I reach Busega, I'll walk to the expressway, then we can catch up and proceed to Entebbe. Not acceptable. In fact, before you actually get to the first toll gate to Busega, at the very first toll gate,
that's right,
you already stopped. You already stopped and taken off.
Okay. As far that is a bit, I was going into the expressway proper,
yes.
but this is Fika Salaama. But that is also something that helps somebody who is using that particular road fit within the dynamics that Fika Salaama Extra pretty much want. So what is the time frame for this particular campaign? Or are we going to see a lull as soon as the cameras are back to other business and people are doing other things?
First of all, we have the infrastructure, thanks to the Uganda Police. They have the camera centers already in place, and we are taking advantage of that equipment, or by extension, science and technology that we now have to be able to net errant motorists or speeding motorists.
Yeah.
But we also have, away from the fixed cameras, we also have our own spy cameras, which are mounted on some moving motors and then moving and patrolling the road. So people should not expect that we'll only get them by fixed cameras. You know, there's a tendency that when you reach a fixed camera, because we don't arrest you or get you along the expressway, we get you at the exit. So as you're driving and you see a fixed camera, some people will tend to slow it down, thinking we will not be nabbing them, but we also have other gadgets along the road. So when we pick you or when we intercept you at the exit of the road, please allow to stop, get your permit, rather your ticket, your EPS, and proceed to pay to the government of Uganda for the offense you've actually committed. So Ugandans should know that we have Big Brother watching along the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway. That is, by the way, and where we've started our operations last week, and they are going on still even today, and we'll be continuing. We'll be rolling out to other highways, and we hope that in about 6 months we'll have had tangible results under this campaign. Okay. So this is going on until next year.
Okay, you said this is a multi-sectoral campaign that has a lot of stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health. Has the ministry shared information on alcohol levels? Ugandans get confused. People are told drink driving, and then at one point the breathalyzer initiative shows that you should not have consumed alcohol beyond a certain level, meaning you can actually have some alcohol on you and you're within the limits. How, away from the breathalyzer, how is the motorist supposed to know that it's supposed to be either 2 bottles? Beyond that, you might hit the wrong end of the breathalyzer.
First of all, studies have been done, and I hope the Ministry of Health maybe will better clarify on this. They tried, they attempted to do that last week in our presser that we had when we were launching the Fika Salaama Extra operations.
That's right.
And they talked about the allowable limits within which one is considered a drunk and unfit for the road. So be mindful that when you get there, the gadgets are working very well, by the way, and you're entitled to your own gadget. They are not reusable, by the way, like I indicated. And the traffic officers will take you through the allowable limits to determine whether you should actually park there. Like they will
actually show you. The whole idea of knowing the limits is to ensure that you don't get to the point where you're stopped.
You're out of your control or your senses, or to even operate the vehicle. Okay. Yeah, because we believe then you'll be a nuisance on the road, and you'll cause accidents, or you'll actually knock other road users. Okay,
like you said, we shall engage the Ministry of Health for more clarity on that, so that you know, if you're taking 3, those are enough. Interesting there.
But also, you may not know how much actually of what you're taking is actually allowable when you're drinking. So you will be netted at that point. So I think bottom line is
to avoid alcohol and driving.
Yes. Yeah. Or you can actually choose to stay somewhere. Either stay home, drink from home, or drink from the bar and don't drive, or get means to drop you back home.
Everything else is costly. Drinking from the bar.
But you've spent to drink.
Uganda somehow have the money for
it. So we're telling you, for example, if you're coming from Entebbe, spare some little money for a hotel to park in Entebbe. Because now imagine you drink from Entebbe and you're going to drive back to Kampala, or from Kampala and you drive back to Entebbe. First of all, with that with the expressway standards, like I told you, the 100 kilometers per hour speed limit.
Yep.
Now, when you're drunk, you're tempted to drive even ahead of that.
You feel like a champion.
Absolutely. So now you can imagine the chaos you cause on the road.
All right. The whole idea is do not drink and drive.
Absolutely.
That's the best thing that you can do. For those that have the options, including a little bit of more cash, you can either pay a driver or, like Alan says, you can park at a hotel and go the next day.
Because we will lose you, and we need that revenue. So
that is if accountability at home. Where were you? I parked at a hotel because I was drunk. No one is going to take that.
You probably will start taking pictures of the of the
interesting.
table.
Okay, allow me take advantage of your appearance on the show to ask a question that many Ugandans want an answer to, or hope that the consideration shall be made. Joshua Cheptegei has done wonders for this country. He has entered in the league of the immortals when it comes to athletics, and Ugandans have a chorus that is going within them, that the expressway, NTV Kampala Expressway, be named the Cheptegei Expressway. That is a conversation that can begin anywhere, including at UNRWA boardroom, to consider that. Have you had any whispers, or is it something you're willing to share with the boss?
Not that we have the powers to actually name this road,
No.
other than the existing names that the projects have. But it's a discussion that can be brought up. Why not?
Morning at NTV is imploring Alan Sempewa, the spokesperson of the Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda National Roads Authority, to start the conversation in the boardroom at UNRWA about naming the Kampala Entebbe Expressway the Cheptegei Expressway. I want to be able to tell somebody, hey, where are you? I'm on the Cheptegei Expressway.
Yes, because indeed he's flown our flag high, and we appreciate his exploits. But I want to tell you, Cheptegei comes from the eastern part of Uganda.
That's right.
Kapchorwa. And the Uganda National Roads Authority, by extension, Government of Uganda, is upgrading the Kapchorwa Swam Road, about 73 kilometers.
That's right.
In addition to that, we're also doing the access to Teriet. Teriet is the high altitude.
That is the high altitude training center.
Yes, it's a national athletics training center. And Cheptegei, of all people, actually is very, very pleased with this development.
With that development.
So we can do more.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've done something at least.
No doubt. I'm glad our 2 cents as Morning at NTV has been registered. Many thanks, Alan Sempewa, for making it on the show. That will do it. Anything else you can wrap this up in just 30 seconds?
Maybe to say that Fika Salaama Extra is targeting driver behavior on our roads. Yeah. Because we know that these crashes are avoidable. If you're able to follow the rules of the road, you'll avoid these accidents. Yeah. And if you don't, you'll crash. So let's take effort to read these road signs, to respect them. And to avoid these avoidable crashes on our highways. All right. Many thanks for making it and enlightening us on Operation Fika Salaama Extra. That will do it for Take Note, but do stay with us. We are going to be talking the proposed ban on used clothes importation in light of President Yoweri Museveni's latest rant that is ensured to make some of these clothes that you go for downtown unaffordable and unreachable. Priscilla Regina Naloga shall be at hand.